For today's lesson, we are going to look at homophones. And homophones for us are words that we confuse easily. What are homophones? Homophones, students, are words that sound the same but differ in spelling and meaning. For today's lesson, these are our objectives. By the end of this lesson, students will be able to do the following: explain verbally what homophones are, create a list of homophones, modify sentences by using homophones correctly. So we've already established that a homophone or homophones are words that sound the same but differ in spelling and or meaning. Take, for example, this statement here. I want you to take 2 seconds and think of words that sound the same but differ in spelling and meaning. We can actually take into consideration, students, some of the words that are presented on the board. Let's look at S-E-E-M. That sounds the same as the word we used in our definition of homophones, does it? But the spelling is completely different. And as a matter of fact, the spelling in this particular sentence is not the correct spelling for what the meaning is we are looking for. So that word there would be incorrect. All right. Let's also look at meaning at the bottom. Meaning is also spelled incorrectly. So these are 2 homophones that I came up with just by observing what we have presented in front of us. Now let's see some other examples of homophones that you might have came up with. Blue and blue, the color blue and the verb, something to fly away. Sail and sail, new and new, night and night. Pair, pair, pair. Meet and meet. Notice how the words sound the same, but the spelling, the meaning, and the part of speech for these words, when we look them up, will be completely different. Those are our homophones. Homophone, students, are words that sound the same but differ in spelling and or meaning. For today's lesson, we're going to take a few minutes to look at some homophones, what they mean, their parts of speech, and how we can use them in a sentence correctly. Let's look at our first set of homophones, A-R-E and O-U-R. A-R-E is a form of the verb to be, and it indicates a state of being. A-R-E, students, for us is a helping or linking verb. It is a verb or a word that indicates when the action takes place. You'll find that when we look at types of verbs, you'll find that our action verbs indicate that something is being done. Our linking verbs indicate when this action is done, whether it was in the past, whether it's happening now in the present, or whether it will happen in the future. Let's look now at our sentence example. You are such wonderful students. O-U-R is a possessive pronoun. And when we looked at parts of speech, we said that pronouns are words that we use to replace nouns. And our nouns are words that give a name of persons, place, things, or ideas. So in essence, this pronoun now is just replacing a group of names. O-U-R, it means that something belongs to us. So instead of saying that the pen belongs to Mrs. Myrtle, Dario, Michaela, Nelson, etc., we just say that it belongs to us. It is our pencil. Let's look at our example now. Our house is the pink house down the street. Look carefully, students, at where these words are placed. Yes, they sound the same, but their meanings as well as their functions within the sentences will be completely different. Okay, so if you're saying that something belongs to us, OUR is the word that you will use. Let's look at another set of homophones. Accept and accept. Accept, A-C-C-E-P-T, is a verb meaning to receive something. One can accept a gift, for example, or a club can accept a new member. Let's look at the example sentence. Sophia did not accept the money from Stephen. Accept, we can say that one meaning for accept, take, right? So in this particular sentence, students, accept is serving as a verb. So this is now how we know the difference between the two homophones and which one we should use when we're writing a particular sentence. EXCEPT is a preposition and is usually used, students, to, for some of us, to mean unless or not included. Let's look at our examples. Everyone attended the graduation except Jill's father. The except here means not including. All right, that means he did not attend. Let's look at the second example. John cannot enter his house except he removes his shoes and apologizes. Except here means unless. Okay, so except, students, has more than one. It can have more than one meaning depending on where it is placed in a sentence. And you will find that words have no specific meaning unless they're used in a sentence. Okay. Let's look at our other sets of homophones. There. T-H-E-R-E, T-H-E-I-R, T-H-E-Y apostrophe R-E. T-H-E-R-E is an adverb and it indicates location. We are going to sit over there by the speakers. Where are you going to sit? There. It indicates location. T-H-E-I-R is a possessive pronoun, and it means that something belongs to them. Let's look at our sentence. The Sands family gave me a tour of their home 2 weeks after they moved in. There, in this particular sentence, T-H-E-I-R means that the house belongs to them. T-H-E-Y apostrophe R-E is a contraction for the pronoun they and a form of the verb to be A-R-E. It's just a contraction, okay? It means they are. They are. Example, they are or they're trying their best to remain civil during this unfortunate ordeal. So let's just say, for example, instead of putting T-H-E-I-R, In the second example, we had THEY''re. The sentence would have read, the Sands family gave me a tour of their home 2 weeks after they moved in. You see the difference now? So it's very important for you to familiarize yourself, students, with what these words mean, and not only what they mean, but with their parts of speech, because that will help you tremendously when you are writing your sentences. TOO, TO, and TWO. TO is a preposition that is used to show direction toward a place, person, or thing. Example, I am going to the shop. Where are you going? To the shop or to the food store. All right. So to is a preposition that is used to show direction. TOO is an adverb that is used to indicate an excessive, extent, or in addition. So let's look at this example here. I have a red cap and a green one too. So in this particular sentence, TOO means addition, but we can also have a sentence that means where TOO would mean excessive extent. For example, this tea has too much sugar. All right, so you see where this, in this sentence, TOO would mean excessive extent. TWO is a noun, or it can be an adjective. All right, so when it functions as a noun, it's saying number. When it's functioning as an adjective, it's indicating or describing how many objects you have. So in essence, it would be describing that noun. So TWO functions as two. It just depends on where it is placed in the sentence. It can have two functions. It can function as a noun or it can function as a verb. YOUR and YOU''RE. YOUR is a pronoun and it means that something belongs to you. Can I borrow your necklace for the party tomorrow night? Who does the necklace belong to? The necklace belongs to you. Who am I asking to borrow the necklace? I am asking you. YOUR is a pronoun and it means that something belongs to you. YOU''RE is a contraction, students, and it is a shortened form of the pronoun you and a form of the verb to be, which is ARE, are. Okay, so are is a form of the verb to be. Let's look at our example. You're going to miss the meeting if you don't leave now. You are going to miss the meeting if you don't leave now. Let's just say instead of having YOU''RE, you put YOUR. This is what your sentence would mean. Belongs to you going to miss the meeting. It doesn't make sense grammatically, okay? So if you are unfamiliar, students, with what some of your homonyms or homophones mean, it's very important that you now begin familiarizing yourself with the meanings. Principle, and I have seen this error many, many times before, even within adults. Even within adults. PRINCIPAL is an adjective and it can also function as a noun. When it functions as a noun, students, it refers to someone in a leading position. For example, Mrs. Darville is the principal of S.C. McPherson Junior High School. She's the leader of, or the executive officer of S.C. McPherson Junior High School. Principle, on the other hand, it is a noun still. All right, there's very little change with the part of speech there. But this principle means a fundamental truth, code of law, or a quality that motivates someone's behavior, for example, a belief system. All right. So when you want to say that because of your beliefs, you can't do anything, it should never be Principal. Let's look at the example for the principle that means a fundamental truth. It is simply against my principles to lie to anyone. Principles here could mean religion, beliefs, morals, or upbringing, because that becomes a part of us, right? Let's look at the second example. The most basic principle of citizenship is that people should govern themselves. This particular meaning it takes on is a code or law. Okay, so just a reminder that words have no specific meaning unless they're used within a sentence. If you look into the dictionary, you will find that words have multiple meanings, but we cannot give it a specific meaning unless we use it in a sentence, right? So that's why I gave you, for some of the words that have more than one meaning, I tried to give you at least two examples of those words being used. Let's now take a look at some of the sentences that we will normally see on social media. And trust me, I have seen it. So from now on, students, if you see a person not using any of these words correctly, it's a red flag. All right, so hashtag red flag. We are going to be using our homophones correctly from now on because we know what they mean. We know what part of speeches they are, and we know where to place them in a sentence. Let's take a look now and look at this example on the screen before you. Their house is only 2 corners away from our house. We are going to the store not too far from them. I can drop you there before I go to the store. It should take us 2 minutes to get to their house. How's your mother? Does she know that you're here on vacation? Let's make the corrections to those homophones now. As I made the corrections, students, I'd like for you to look carefully at the revised sentences. Okay, so now that we have made the corrections to the homophones within the paragraph, of course, when we go to read it, it will sound the same, but when we write it down on paper, we will see the difference and how our corrections make sense grammatically or academically. So now that we've done the first one together, take 2 seconds to do this one on your own, and then we'll check our answers. Let's look now at some of the answers you should have gotten, or some of the corrections you should have made. ARE should have been replaced with OUR. Our caterers, the caterers belong to us. TOO should have been replaced with TWO, the number. 2 o'clock. I told them 2 TO. So TWO for this one will be replaced with TO. THEIR will be replaced with THERE for location. THEY apostrophe RE will be replaced with THEIR. And YOU apostrophe RE will be replaced with YOUR, as in belongs to you. So those are corrections to the second one. Let's move on to our last example for today. As a matter of principle, the principal of the school did not accept the donation from the company. So we have 3 corrections to be made here. PRINCIPAL. Just need to go ahead and replace it with the other principle. That means beliefs, morals, standard. The principal, the executive officer of the school. So we're going to replace CIPAL with CIPLE. And the last one, accept, I'm going to replace AXCEPT with ACCEPT. Okay, so those are our corrections. I hope that you take what you would have learned today and begin practicing it in your writing. And you can also, students, share the information that you learned today with some of your relatives or friends to also assist them with their